Debuting on April 5, 1987, Married with Children redefined the family sitcom genre. In contrast to the idealized families portrayed in shows like Family Ties, The Cosby Show, and Growing Pains, the Bundys were a dysfunctional, sarcastic bunch constantly at odds. Despite its controversial humor, the show endured for 11 seasons, becoming a sitcom stalwart due to its shocking comedic style and the cast's undeniable chemistry. Discover surprising details about the talented actors and their current endeavors. Ed O'Neill as Al Bundy. Alvin Al Bundy, the patriarch of the Bundy family, is perpetually doomed to failure due to the Bundy curse. Once a promising fullback for the fictional Polk High School, he was on track to attend college on a scholarship until he suffered a leg injury. He ended up working as a shoe salesman at Gary's Shoes in the New Market Mall, located in a suburban area of Chicago. Al had previously attended Youngstown State, where he was cut by the Steelers and was one of the initial participants in the school's new theater program. In 1979, he portrayed a boxer opposite Danny Aiello in the Broadway play Knockout at the Helen Hayes Theater. The New York Times described his performance as chilling, noting, as Paddy Klonsky, the brutal young boxer, Edward O'Neill's imposing physique, calm demeanor, and vacant eyes create a truly frightening presence. O'Neill then landed his first film role as a police detective in Cruising, which starred Al Pacino. In 2008, O'Neill appeared in a campaign ad for presidential candidate Barack Obama as Al the Shoe Salesman. In January 2009, he reunited with David Faustino for 2 episodes of Faustino's show Starving. O'Neill also rejoined the entire Married with Children cast when they were honored at the 7th Annual TV Land Awards in 2009. Since 2012, O'Neill has done voiceovers for TV ads promoting Zyrtec's over-the-counter form and Walmart's store-branded mobile phone service, Straight Talk. In 2016, he voiced Hank the Octopus in the Pixar animated film Finding Dory. O'Neill admitted he didn't initially realize he had a leading role in the film. O'Neill is married to actress Catherine Russoff. As of 2016, they were residing in Los Angeles with their 2 daughters. On May 18, 2013, O'Neill received an honorary Doctor of Arts degree from his alma mater, Youngstown State University. However, on November 30, 2023, following the contentious appointment of Republican Congressman Bill Johnson as the university's president, O'Neill announced to IdeaStream that he would return his degree, stating, "I don't want it. I'm going to start calling it Trump U." Katie Sagal as Peggy Bundy. Margaret Pegg, or Peggy Bundy, née Wanker, is Al's indolent and self-serving wife. She avoids work, cooking, and housework, though she occasionally shows some domestic skill. Peg justifies her laziness by citing family tradition and becomes annoyed with Kelly for getting a job. She asserts that Wanker women never worked, reminiscing about pioneer days when Wanker women were getting their hair done, while Wanker men got theirs scalped. Sagal began her entertainment career as a singer and songwriter. In 1973, she worked as a backing vocalist for artists such as Bob Dylan, Etta James, and Tanya Tucker. By 1976, as a member of the group with no name, she contributed to the album Moon Over Brooklyn under the name Katie Sagal. She also provided backing vocals for Gene Simmons's solo album, 1978, Molly Hatchett's Take No Prisoners, 1981, and Olivia Newton-John's 1985 single Soul Kiss. One of Sagal's early roles was as a receptionist in the Columbo episode Candidate for Crime, 1973, directed by her father, Boris. She also made a brief appearance in Debbie Harry's 1986 music video for French Kissin' in the USA. After Married, with Children concluded, Sagal appeared in several TV films and voiced Spinelli's mother on the children's cartoon Recess. In 1998, Matt Groening cast her as the voice of Leela, the purple-haired mutant spaceship captain, in his sci-fi animated series Futurama. In 2023, Seagal performed live off-Broadway in The Gospel, according to Heather, written by Paul Gordon, directed by Rachel Klein, and produced by Amos Musical Theater and Jim Kierstead. In June 2016, the Human Rights Campaign released a video honoring the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting, featuring Seagal among others sharing stories of those killed. She was also featured in a 2016 episode of the genealogy series Who Do You Think You Are? Amanda Bearse as Marcy Darcy. Marcy B. Rhodes, or Darcy as she's known to her friends, is not just Peg's BFF and Al's arch-nemesis, but also the Bundy family's neighbor. In the show's inaugural episode, Pilot, Marcy and her equally uptight husband, Steve Rhodes, introduced themselves to the Bundys as newlyweds who had tied the knot just 3 months prior. Amanda Bearse, the actress behind Marcy, got her start in the biz on the ABC soap opera All My Children, playing Amanda Cousins from 1982 to 1983. She then scored a role in the Goldie Hawn comedy flick Protocol, and soon after, she was cracking up audiences in the sex comedy Fraternity Vacation. But it was her turn as the female lead in the 1985 horror flick Fright Night that really got her noticed. She continued to slay on screen, booking a starring role in the ABC drama series Hotel in 1986. Fast forward to 2005, and Bearse is sitting in the director's chair for The Sperm Donor, an NBC pilot with Maggie Wheeler. The following year, she joined forces with the one and only Rosie O'Donnell to produce and direct The Big Gay Sketch Show, which debuted on Logo in April 2007. Now, while Bearse took a step back from acting in the 90s, she did grace the screen in 2 films, The Doom Generation and Here Come the Munsters, both classics from 1995. She took a break from the industry but made a triumphant return in 2011 with a 2-episode arc on the Lifetime comedy drama series Drop Dead Diva. And the hits keep coming. In 2020, Bearse sunk her teeth into the German comedy horror flick Sky Sharks, marking her grand return to the big screen after a 25-year hiatus. Not one to slow down, she followed that up with a heartwarming turn as Luke McFarlane's mom in the 2022 rom-com Brothers. But beyond her impressive career, Bearse is also known for proudly living her truth as a lesbian, coming out publicly in 1993, and she's a mom to her daughter, Zoe, Ted McGinley as Jefferson Darcy. Jefferson Milhouse Darcy is Marcy's second husband, a pretty boy who marries her primarily for her wealth. He is self-absorbed and lazy, akin to Peg in his demeanor. Jefferson provides more advice to Kelly and Bud about their issues than Al does. Despite his French-sounding surname, Darcy, Al, who has a strong aversion to French culture, fails to notice the connection. McGinley's acting career began when a casting director noticed his photo in GQ, leading to his role as Roger Phillips, the Cunningham family's nephew, on the comedy series Happy Days from 1980 to 1984. During this time, he also appeared in the comedy film Young Doctors in Love, 1982. After Happy Days concluded in 1984, McGinley was cast in Revenge of the Nerds as Stanley Gable, the leader of the jock-driven Alpha Beta fraternity and the main antagonist of the Lambda 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 Nerds. He reprised this role in the 3rd and 4th installments of the Nerds series, both made for TV. He also took on regular roles in television series such as The Love Boat and Dynasty. In 2008, McGinley competed on the 7th season of Dancing with the Stars, paired with professional dancer Ina Breyer. He was the second contestant eliminated from the show. In 2011, McGinley poked fun at his shark-jumping abilities in The Batman, the brave and the bold episode Might Fall, where Bat-Mite, voiced by Paul Reubens, tries to cancel the show to make way for a new series, Beware the Batman. Batmite attempts to replace elements of the show, including substituting Aquaman's regular voice actor John DiMaggio with McGinley. Ambush Bug, voiced by McGinley's Happy Days co-star Henry Winkler, helps to rectify the situation, partly by convincing McGinley to step out of character, reinstating DiMaggio's voice for Aquaman. McGinley married actress Gigi Rice in 1991, and they have two sons, Beau, born 1994, and Quinn. The family lives in Los Angeles. David Faustino as Bud Bundy. The second child, Budrick Franklin, Bud Bundy, entered the world on January 22, 1974. Interestingly, in the original pilot script, his name was meant to be Ben. During the initial season, Bud's character is placed in the 5th grade, suggesting an age of 10 or 11. However, in subsequent seasons, his age is adjusted to be closer to his sister Kelly's, with him graduating high school in 1991. The inspiration for his name came from the Budweiser beer brand. Faustino's journey in front of the camera began at a very young age. At just 3 months old, he made his television debut on the Lily Tomlin special. His acting career took off in 1980 with a small role on Little House on the Prairie, leading to a string of guest appearances on popular TV shows throughout the early to mid-1980s, including Highway to Heaven, Family Ties, St. Elsewhere, and The Love Boat. Faustino's versatility was on full display in 2017 when he appeared in the 12th season of Bones in the episode The Radioactive Panthers in the Party. He portrayed a fictionalized version of himself as a suspect in the death of an aspiring filmmaker. Demonstrating his musical prowess, Faustino was featured on the album Ballistics in 1992, which included the single I Told Ya. Venturing into the nightlife industry, Faustino co-founded and co-hosted a Los Angeles nightclub also named Ballistics, sharing the same name as his rap album. The club, which was the first of its kind on the Sunset Strip dedicated to hip-hop and funk, initially opened its doors on Thursday nights at the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1991. It eventually moved to the Roxy, where it held its final party on New Year's Eve in 1993. In May 2007, Faustino encountered legal trouble in Florida, where he was arrested for misdemeanor marijuana possession and disorderly intoxication. The latter charge was dropped when he agreed to seek treatment at a drug rehabilitation facility. On a happier note, Faustino welcomed a daughter with his girlfriend, Lindsey Bronson, on November 14, 2015. David Garrison as Steve Rhodes. Stephen Bartholomew. Steve Rhodes is Marcy's first husband. Similar to the surname Bundy, the creators chose Rhodes as a nod to professional wrestler Dusty Rhodes. Steve is a banker who seems indifferent to his subordinate role compared to Marcy at the City Bank. When Marcy advances to a higher position at another bank, Steve takes over her former job. Though he is well known for his television roles and continues to make frequent guest appearances on TV, Garrison is primarily recognized as a stage actor, particularly in musicals. He has performed in numerous productions across the United States, including several Broadway shows. His Broadway credits include A Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine, for which he received a Tony Award nomination, Wicked, The Visit, Titanic, Torch Song Trilogy, The Pirates of Penzance, Bells Are Ringing, A History of the American Film, and The Great Society. He originated the role of the Wizard in the original touring production of Wicked, starting on March 8, 2005, and completed his year-long run on March 6, 2006. He then joined the Broadway cast as the Wizard on April 4, 2006, replacing Ben Vereen. After 15 months, he performed his final show in the role on July 8, 2007. He later took on the role in the Chicago production from September 30th to October 28, 2007, and then in the Los Angeles company from August 26, 2008, until it closed on January 11, 2009. He also played the Wizard in the San Francisco production, which officially opened on February 6, 2009, and concluded his run on May 31, 2009, to pursue a new play, Harold Sylvester as Griff. Harold Sylvester first appears in the early part of Season 9 as Al's friend and co-worker at the shoe store, as well as a member of Al's No Ma'am Club. Divorced Griff, as his character is known, shares Al's work ethic and views on women, though he is not as blunt or outspoken as Al, either to their customers or their boss, Gary. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana, Sylvester attended St. Augustine High School and Tulane University, choosing the latter over Harvard on a basketball scholarship. He graduated in 1972 with a degree in theater and psychology. Sylvester's first Hollywood role was as Nathan, a lead character in Part 2, Sounder, the sequel to the film Sounder. He is best known for his supporting roles in films such as An Officer and a Gentleman, 1982, Uncommon Valor, 1983, Inner Space, 1987, and Karina, 1994. Sylvester was a contract player for Universal Studios. In addition to acting, Sylvester wrote the screenplay for the 1998 TV movie Passing Glory, which was based on his experiences playing basketball in high school, including a historic game between an all-black team from St. Augustine High School and an all-white team from Jesuit High School. The Amistad Research Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, houses a collection of Harold Sylvester's papers, including correspondence, film and television scripts, and materials related to his work with the Free Southern Theater and his own production company, Blue Bayou Productions. E. E. Bell as Bob Rooney. The American comedic actor E. E. Bell is renowned for his portrayal of Bob Rooney on the beloved sitcom Married with Children. Bell also delighted audiences with his recurring role as Barney, the lovable security guard on the Nickelodeon sketch comedy series The Amanda Show. Furthermore, he left his mark with guest appearances as Leslie, a tow truck driver on Drake and Josh, and as the enigmatic mystery guest on How I Met Your Mother. Bell showcased his versatility with another guest role, this time as a school principal on Sunny with a Chance. More recently, he appeared in the holiday special Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas, portraying the character of Lenny. Bell's talent also extended to a memorable appearance on Hollywood Squares on April Fool's Day in 2003, where he was part of a prank on host Tom Bergeron, president of the toy company. He also added a touch of humor to the film Herbie, fully loaded with his role as the pickup driver. Steve Suskind as Barney. Al's buddy, Steve Suskind, first appeared in Episode 8, titled The Poker Game, and popped up occasionally until the formation of No Ma'am. He made one more appearance in the 8th season, portraying Stan in The Legend of Ironhead Haynes. Beyond his role on Married with Children, Suskind led a successful career as an actor and voice artist. He lent his talents to various films, including Friday the 13th Part 3, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, Monsters, Inc., The Emperor's New Groove, and Osmosis Jones. Suskind also ventured into voice work for video games, such as Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and Dead to Rights. Interestingly, he was a hit recording artist, with songs like Please Love Me Forever, a duet with Kathy Jean, and The Glory of Love in 1961. Tragically, Suskind's life was cut short in an automobile accident on January 21, 2005, in Sunland, California. He was 62 at the time of his untimely passing. Janet Carroll as Gary. Gary is the proprietor of Gary's Shoes and Al's employer. Gary first appeared in the series during Season 9, after Al transformed the women's shoe store into a men's store, mistakenly believing that Gary, being male, would not notice. Gary is extremely affluent. She began classical training at 12 with Greta Allam in Chicago. Over time, she continued to develop her voice and expand her repertoire through formal studies with Douglas Susu Mago, mastering a range that included opera, jazz, Broadway, gospel, and Dixieland. Carol performed as a first soprano with the Canterbury Choral Society at Carnegie Hall and other venues throughout New York City. She starred on Broadway, creating the role of Aunt March in the original musical Little Women, based on the 1869 novel by American author Louisa May Alcott, and appeared in TV commercials for companies like Century 21, Diet Coke, Outback Steakhouse, and Holiday Inn. In 1992, Carol contributed vocals to the album This Joint is Jumpin' Live by the Beverly Hills Unlisted Jazz Band, led by Dixieland trombonist and actor Conrad Janis. She later released solo albums including Presenting, Janet Carroll, and the Hollywood Jazz Cats, 1992, I Can't Give You Anything But Love, 2000, I'll Be Seeing You, 2000, and Lady Be Good, 2010. By 2011, she was working on her fourth and fifth albums, titled A Tribute to the Great Ladies of Song and Scorch Your Shorts Torch Songs. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with brain cancer later that year and took a leave of absence. Despite undergoing surgery and chemotherapy, she did not recover. She had two sons, George and Tom Brown. Tom passed away in 1978. Carol died on May 22, 2012, from brain cancer at her home in Manhattan, at the age of 71. Dan Tullis, Jr., as Officer Dan. A close associate of Al's, this individual is also a cast member of No Ma'am and a full-time Chicago police officer. Ironically, despite his involvement in the show, he frequently apprehends the crew for their misadventures. Interestingly, he admits to corrupt practices, suggesting occasional assistance to the group. Dan's made TV appearances in shows like 227, The Drew Carey Show, and The District. In 1992, he was a series regular on Rachel Gunn, RN. Commercially, he represented SelectQuote, a life insurance firm. In 1976, he and his family were contestants on Family Feud, followed by a Tic-Tac-Doe appearance in 1985, winning over $15,000. Notably, he portrayed Sergeant First Class Luther Fry in Extreme Prejudice, alongside Nick Nolte, Powers Booth, and Maria Conchita Alonso. Tullis has also graced the theater stage, playing Joe in over 18 productions of Showboat worldwide. He provided the voice for the carnivorous plant in a California production of Little Shop of Horrors. Tullis is a father of two, Jillian and Dan III, both with advanced degrees. Hill Harper as Aaron. The second colleague of Al at the shoe store is Aaron, a young football star from Polk High who is about to marry a wonderful woman and attend college, achieving everything Al ever wanted. Al chooses to live vicariously through Aaron until his ill-advised guidance inadvertently leads Aaron to a difficult woman named Meg, and the same unfortunate outcome that befell Al. Aaron appears only in the 8th season. Harper, whose film career spans both mainstream and indie films, has acted in movies from Beloved, 1998, to the indie romantic comedy Loving Jezebel, 1999, and The Skulls, 2000. He also starred in the independent drama Visit, 2000, playing a prisoner with AIDS trying to rebuild his life. He portrayed Leesham in the 2010 sci-fi original movie Stonehenge Apocalypse. From May 1, 2018 to June 17, 2018, Harper played Rooftop in the off-Broadway play Our Lady of 121st Street, a dark comedy by Stephen Adly Guirgis, directed by Felicia Rashad, about former students who discover that Sister Rose's body has been stolen. Harper's acting credits also include voice work in CSI, NY the Video Game, Breathe Bible, and podcasts like Legal Wars and 5-Factor Authentication. In 2018, Harper was nominated for a Vivian Robinson Award by the Audience Development Committee, Incourse, Audelco, for lead actor in a play for his role as Walter Rooftop Desmond in Our Lady of 121st Street. On December 5, 2021, the Museum of African American History in Boston honored him with the Living Legends Award, the Garrison Silver Cup. People magazine named him one of the sexiest men alive in both 2004 and 2014. While writing his book, The Wealth Cure, Putting Money in Its Place, Harper was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, but was declared cancer-free after treatment. In November 2015, Harper was called to adopt a baby boy, a process completed by May 2017. In 2018, he purchased and moved into the historic Charles T. Fisher Mansion in Detroit, Michigan. Rich Schiedner as Luke Ventura. Luke Ventura, a co-worker at the shoe store during the first season of Married with Children, was a charming womanizer known for his constant seductions of attractive women and for stealing sales from Al. Peggy despised him, while Al put up with him. Luke disappears from the show after the first season, but is mentioned again in the 9th season episode, Pump Fiction, where Al learns from the industry publication Shoe News that Luke is receiving an award. Rich Schiedner, born in Pennsville Township, New Jersey, attended Pennsville Memorial High School before studying business and sociology at Gettysburg College. Alongside his friend Camillo Mad Dog Melchiori, Schiedner created and performed comedy skits for parents' weekends and fraternity events. They were joined by Carmen Honest Abe Volpicelli and Pluto Fenderhead Dombrowski in their Used Car Salesman skit. After graduating, Schiedner worked as a substitute teacher and managed a band before working for a congressman, which sparked his interest in law. While studying at George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, he decided to pursue stand-up comedy instead. He began writing material for Mad Magazine and National Lampoon, though he initially had limited success. Schiedner went on to perform stand-up comedy on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, Late Night with David Letterman, and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He also had an HBO half-hour special, One Night Stand, and appeared on Comics Unleashed. In 2006, he co-authored the book I Killed with comedian Mark Schiff, which compiled stories of life on the road for comedians. In the 2010 documentary I Am Comic, Schiedner traveled across the country interviewing comedians, which inspired his return to stand-up after a 13-year hiatus. As an actor, Schiedner portrayed Al Bundy's co-worker and friend Luke Ventura on Married with Children and made guest appearances on shows like Designing Women, Roseanne, and Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist. His film credits include Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Roxanne. Influenced by Art Carney, Lenny Bruce, Red Skelton, and George Carlin, Schiedner's career reflects their impact on his work. Christina Applegate as Kelly Bundy. Kelly Bundy is the eldest child in the Bundy family, born on November 27, 1972, or sometime before February 19th. Nicknamed Pumpkin by her father, Al, Kelly is portrayed as both attractive and promiscuous, frequently associating with slacker types and embodying the cliché of the dumb blonde. Al's frustration with Kelly's behavior often leads him to react harshly towards her various suitors. In numerous episodes, he pretends to be friendly as he ushers them to the door, only to forcefully push them into the wall before throwing them out. Christina Applegate made her television debut in 1972, appearing alongside her mother in the soap opera Days of Our Lives, and starred in a Playtex baby bottle commercial when she was just 3 months old. Her film debut came in the 1981 horror movie Jaws of Satan, also known as King Cobra, followed by a role in the 1981 film Beatlemania. Applegate appeared as Kelly in the TV biopic Grace Kelly, 1983, and her first television series role was in Showtime's political comedy Washington, 1985, where she played a congressman's daughter. In July 2018, Applegate co-starred with Linda Cardellini in the Netflix dark comedy series Dead to Me, which she also executive produced alongside Will Ferrell, Adam McKay, and Jessica Elbaum. The show garnered critical acclaim, and Applegate earned 2 Primetime Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for her performances in the first two seasons, as well as nominations for a Golden Globe Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a TCA Award. On November 14, 2022, Applegate was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, with her ceremony attended by her married with children co-stars Katie Sagal and David Faustino. Her star was placed next to those of Sagal and Ed O'Neill. In 2024, Applegate launched a podcast titled Messy with fellow actress Jamie Lynn Sigler, focusing on their friendship and shared experiences with multiple sclerosis. Applegate married actor Jonathan Cheich in Palm Springs, California, on October 20, 2001. The couple divorced in August 2007, following Cheich's filing for divorce in December 2005, citing irreconcilable differences. Applegate began a relationship with Dutch musician Martin Lenoble in 2009. They got engaged on Valentine's Day 2010 and were married on February 23, 2013, at their Los Angeles home. This marriage was the second for both, and they have one daughter born in January 2011. It's astonishing how the chaotic Bundy family has left an enduring mark on pop culture. From the shoe store to their living room antics, they were a whirlwind of comedy. This nostalgic journey has been entertaining. Let's continue the laughter. Show your appreciation with a like, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more retro content. Thank you for watching.